Hi friends, this is Teacher Jenny, and today I wanted to share with you a really easy way to make Play-Doh. It's also how we make Play-Doh in our classroom, so if you were in our class last year, you've seen us make it this way before and you've helped me make it this way before. But if not, this might be your first time seeing it. So one thing I will say is that it can get messy depending on how fast we stir the Play-Doh. So I'm making sure to wear clothes that I don't mind if I get flour on my clothes, and I'm gonna do it in a nice big bowl so that I don't make a mess on my table or my floor. So the first thing we need is some flour, and we just use 1 cup of flour and put it in the bowl. And I already have my 1 cup of flour here. And now I want to use half the amount of salt. So I'm going to use 1 cup of flour and half a cup of salt. So I'll pour that in. And I can give that a little stir if I want to. I'm going to stir it really gently and slowly, because if I stir it really fast, the flour can go everywhere. The next thing I'm going to use is some oil, and I'm using some coconut oil, but it doesn't have to be coconut oil. It can just be regular old canola oil. That's what we use in the classroom. And I'm going to use 1.5 tablespoons of that. I'm just using a small amount of oil compared to our flour and our salt. So the next part is I'm going to use a package of Kool-Aid, but you can also use, instead of Kool-Aid, you can use cream of tartar and some food color. But if you don't already have these at your house, they can be a little expensive, so I'm going to use Kool-Aid. And plus, if you use Kool-Aid, it smells really good. So I'm going to put my Kool-Aid in here. And then the next step is going to be some hot water. So this is the part that you're really going to want a grown-up's help. And it can just be hot water from the sink. Alright, so now I have all my ingredients in there. I'm going to start stirring it up. And I can really smell my Kool-Aid. It smells really good. But sometimes in the classroom, though, we would use some cinnamon or lavender. You can really use anything you want it to smell like. Alright, so now that I mixed it up some, I need to knead my Play-Doh. And this part's really important, because if I don't mix my Play-Doh up enough with my fingers and my hands now, then it'll get all dried out later. So I'm going to mix it really good. And I'm going to do this it's good to do it for like at least 5 minutes of just playing with it and mixing it up. And my Play-Doh feels kind of sticky, so I think I'm going to put a little bit more flour on it to help make it not so sticky. So I'm going to add more flour to my Play-Doh to make it not so sticky anymore. And then if I find that it's too dry, I could add some more water. But yeah, the more I mix my Play-Doh up, the better it starts to feel. And since it does take like a few more minutes to really knead it enough to make it into Play-Doh, I'm not gonna film all of that, but I will just tell you the recipe one more time in case you want to know it. So to make this much Play-Doh, it was 1 cup of flour, half a cup of salt, 1.5 tablespoons of oil, and then half a cup of hot water. And then you can just do 1 package of Kool-Aid. And if you don't want to do Kool-Aid, you can do half a tablespoon of cream of tartar. And then you can add some food coloring to give it color. But I would say if you're going to do food color, put it into the water. Because that food color can really dye your hands all different colors if you aren't careful with it. And if you guys want to make more Play-Doh or less Play-Doh, it's really easy to double the recipe or triple it. Or in class, we quadruple it. And you can put all kinds of things in your Play-Doh to make it feel different, like beads or googly eyes. Or right here I have some lavender flower like this. So I'm going to sprinkle some lavender into my Play-Doh because then it'll make my Play-Doh smell really good too. And the other thing I wanted to make sure to tell you about your Play-Doh is that you should put it into a plastic bag or like a piece of Tupperware so it doesn't dry out. But if you do open it up and find that it did dry out, you can just add a little bit more hot water to it and it should feel like Play-Doh again. Okay. There we go. So there we go. I think I probably made close to 2 cups of Play-Doh here with that recipe.